Hey guys, I'm super excited about this video and to talk to you guys about my Watermelon Peperomia because so many of my houseplant videos are all about crucial care for plants that require intense sources of bright indirect light, and that's not always the easiest thing to provide a plant. But this houseplant is a real sweet treat. So why all of the excitement? This plant is adorable and I absolutely love it. It's one of those plants that's become pretty popular because the leaves look like the outside of a watermelon. Like, look at this leaf right here. It looks exactly like the outside of a watermelon in 3D even. Do you see it? So for me, this plant just oozes summertime, barbecue, and fun every time I look at it. And yeah, Harry Styles, Beyonce may come to mind too. I love this plant because, like I said, the care for it is different than a lot of my other houseplants. I'm going to be sharing all of the crucial care tips you need to know in this video, as well as the best method on how to propagate this plant, the Watermelon Peperomia, so you can have as many of them as you want or need. Thanks for checking out this video. I'm Tyler, and if you like what you're seeing or you find this video to be useful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, or better yet, you can subscribe to my channel. When it comes to light, this plant does not need a strong southern exposure. In fact, it will do even better in partial shade. I have mine on my kitchen counter, and that isn't close to any windows, but it gets the, it gets the amount of light that it needs, and it does just fine. If it does get overexposed to light, the leaves, the back of the leaves can develop some pretty ugly brown spots. These brown spots can also be caused by cooler temperatures, so if you live somewhere where it's cold or cooler in the winter months, like here in Boston, if the plant is near a draft or right beside a cold window, it can develop these brown spots as well. And with a shallow root system, to avoid a root rot, we need to verge on cautiously underwatering these plants. The plant will talk to you and it will tell you when it needs to be watered. You just need to know the signs to look for. A Watermelon Peperomia has a sort of succulent leaf, and there should be some rigidity and bounce back to the leaf when you touch it. If the plant has lost or losing some of that rigidity and bounce back, that means it's time to give it a light watering. Otherwise, I feed my Watermelon Peperomia with a balanced, diluted fertilizer about every other week in the spring and summer. And when it comes to propagating these plants, you can do that by taking a leaf cutting. Root hormone is never a bad idea, and it can totally speed up the process. Now, if you aren't familiar with leaf cuttings, please do check out my video on my beautiful begonia. In that video, I take you step by step through on how to take a leaf cutting and everything you need to know on to do that, and that's basically exactly the same technique you would use for this guy. Now, these plants can be susceptible to mealy bugs, so to keep an eye out for that, just, when you're watering it or when you're near it, if you see any sort of weird white fuzzy mass on the underside of the leaves, then you're gonna need to treat it accordingly. All in all, I absolutely love my Watermelon Peperomia, and I do get a lot of joy just looking at it, and ultimately at the end of the day, it's really not that fussy of a houseplant to care for, and that's exactly the kind of houseplant I like. Oh yeah, don't forget to hit the subscribe button or give this video a thumbs up. That's it for me. Miss you guys already. See you next Saturday.